gentlemen, welcome to Wrestling Travels UK edition of the Lockdown Sessions. And today I'm joined by one of the up-and-coming stars of the UK scene, Mr. Tom Thelwell. How are you doing today, Tom?
Hello, everyone. Hello. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm very well. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad as well. Thank you very much. Just trying to avoid the news as much as possible. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah, man. Exactly. Well, I say that. It's my mum's got it on right now, watching Big BJ as we speak. So, you can't really avoid it, can you? Everywhere. He's everywhere you look. But, oh, well, just try to stay positive, even though it's hard at the minute. It's just one of them things, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely trying to remain hopeful that things obviously get better soon. But I mean, obviously, this is a different kind of lockdown that we're starting now compared to obviously back in March. I mean, what have you been obviously doing to keep yourself busy throughout the last few months without any wrestling there?
Well, in the first main chunk of lockdown, when there was nothing to do and everything was closed, it was mainly taken up by. I attempted the home workouts, but there was distractions and I just couldn't commit to them properly. And I just found them boring, to be honest. So they were pointless in that sense. And then I invested in a PlayStation.
Nice.
And yeah, that's where all my time went. Then I ended up playing a lot of Warzone with the boys, Ethan, Lycos, all them lot. Yeah, that's where a lot of my time ended up going towards the end. But then training started up again. And gyms reopened, and then most of my time just went towards that, getting back into show shape and stuff like that. So,
fantastic. And have you been keeping up with obviously the wrestling, even though it's been without fans? Have you still been managing to watch it?
Yeah, man, I've dabbled in most of different companies. Most of the time, I've probably gone to New Japan and AEW because obviously it's the G1 at the minute. And the New Japan's one of my preferred brands, if you will. I've kept up with the NXT, WWE, all that sort of stuff. And I've tried my best to keep up with some of the UK tapings that they've been doing. I know Rev Pro's been doing tapings and stuff. I was meant to be doing a few tapings myself recently with TNT, but unfortunately, due to the Tier 3 things, they've been cancelled. But, hopefully next year everything will be going again. You never know, though.
No, definitely. Yeah, it's a shame, obviously, about TNT and, of course, now Future Shock as well, not being able to run. A big match there, didn't you, schedule against Chris Ridgway? How was that? Sort of your thoughts? Obviously, now that's been sort of taken away at this time. But what a huge match that would have been for you.
Oh, yeah, man, that would have been huge. It was something that I've been looking forward to because, obviously, I've known Chris for quite a while. And he's helped me a fair bit throughout my journey in wrestling, whether it's giving me advice. I've managed to train with him a fair few times,
right.
But it just gives me something to work towards because obviously at a time like this, there's nothing. No one's really got anything to look forward to. But that set booking, as soon as they released the match graphic, it was like a fire was lit inside of me, and I knew that was what I was working towards to wrestle Chris. Yeah, and I know a lot of people are excited to see it as well. I was really excited to do it. I know Chris was excited. Yeah, it would have been real fun, but there's nothing you can do. We tried, Future Shot tried to long it out as much as possible. And even though Manchester aren't officially in the Tier 3 thing at the minute, we thought that it wouldn't be in good faith if we were to do it. So they made the right decision. They made the right decision.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I was due to cover that as well tomorrow for Wrestling Travel. And that was one match I was definitely looking forward to seeing. So, yeah, hopefully we'll get that in the future. And obviously you'll be able to wrestle him there. Yeah, no, 100%. But, Tom, going back to, obviously, the beginning where it all started for you. So what sort of age did you get into wrestling? What was happening on sort of WWE at the time when you got into it?
So when I got into it, my first memory of wrestling, if you will, was Edge winning the Rumble.
Nice.
That was the first thing that I remember. But growing up, I was very big into football.
Okay.
So I didn't have intentions of being a wrestler, or I never really religiously watched wrestling until I was 13, 14. So I think it was Mania 28, 29. was around the time that I was religiously watching. But yeah, that was a good time to join, even though I know I missed a lot. I think, was it Mania 29 was Rock, Cena, Punk and The Undertaker, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know I joined at a decent time. But yeah, and I was a bit of a late bloomer in terms of like coming to wrestling. And I started training when I was 14.
Wow.
At the Future Shock Academy. And I think I'm going into my 5th year training. I think. I don't know if that's correct, but I think it is. I'm not too sure. It's been a while. But yeah, I think it was like a year, because I only ever knew WWE. And like my first independent show was a Lucha Forever show in the Frog and Bucket.
Nice.
And that was my first, that was my first time ever seeing, like, that was like my first time. I was like, oh, like independent wrestling. Like, I didn't know British wrestling existed. And then I started training shortly after that, and I learned of like New Japan, Ring of Honor, TNA, all that sort of stuff. That's when I was like, oh, wow, so this is massive. Like, this is actually this is a big thing. Like, something that I could look into doing. And yeah, like I said, I've been training for 4 years, and I've loved every second of it since.
No, that's fantastic. And it's great, isn't it, when you obviously you think there's only one sort of thing out there, and then you find all these other little things that are going on as well. That must have been a great eye-opener, and obviously it got you excited for the future, obviously getting into it.
Yeah, it was crazy, man, because I did that. I went to that Lucha Forever show, and then I remember the week after, I went to a Progress show in Manchester, and obviously British Strong Style were on that, and I've known them off the WWE because I'd recently been to the UK Championship tournament. It was the first one where Tyler won the belt. I was like, all right, this is sick. Like, look at these guys doing this. Like, the main event was insane. It was like, I think it was Trent and Tyler versus War Machine, which was it was insane. I was like, oh my God, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And yeah, actually, I loved it, man. I loved it. And I've religiously stuck to training ever since doing those 2 shows and realising like what it could be like when you get to the top level.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic that you've kept at it, and obviously you've found that passion now, and you're just going with it. No, it's great to hear that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and obviously moving into your career from when you started to now, do you have any sort of favourite match that you've had so far? Is there one that stands out as your favourite?
Well, I imagine Chris Ridgway would have been in there. If I would have been able to have it, that definitely would have been in there. But I have a few, to be honest. I can talk about a few. So the one that's probably done the most for me was wrestling Chris Brooks at Catch.
I was there for that one. That was a great match.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. Yeah, it was a great experience because it was the first time I've really ever wrestled anyone that was high up in like the indies, if you will. And now obviously Chris is killing it in Japan at DDT. But yeah, it was, whether it was me learning from the way he planned his matches or learning from actually being in the ring with him and just like being around him, it was, yeah, I can't actually put into words how much I learned from him. It was mental because he's such like a locker room leader sort of guy. And then for me to be able to have, in my opinion, the best match that I've had with him, it was just, yeah, that day was insane. And then obviously the Butcher got involved, which is a bit mental as well. That just kind of happened. The Butcher just turned up and decided to beat both of us up for no reason. But, you know, we move. Another one, this one I've got a mental story to tell about this one. So I think it was a Friday. I had nothing to do and I seen Tidal were running a show. And I had a look through the card and I seen Luke. It was either Luke or Ethan, the Young Guns. One of them was on it. And obviously them two being like 2 of my closest friends, I messaged him, was like, you got any space going up? So I ended up jumping in a car, going down to Tidal. I wasn't booked, but obviously I did the standard, had my gear and stuff in the back. Ended up getting to Tidal, spoke to the promoter, and he was like, oh, we can just chuck you in a match with these two. And it ended up being me versus both the Young Guns versus Martin Kirby versus Big T. And Big T and Kirby, yeah, it was insane. Big T and Kirby were in it for about 2 minutes. And then it was basically a triple threat between me and the Guns. And that was the first time Tyler had ever seen me, and it was the first time I've ever had people chanting, "Please come back," and like all these guys and stuff. It was insane, man. It was, considering it wasn't meant to happen and what it turned into. That was another big one. And the last one I can talk about would be in terms of where I've wrestled. Progress in Sheffield. I wrestled Chase Alexander there. And the match was okay. Like, obviously, there's things that I changed about it, but just the spectacle of being stood in the Progress ring and then looking around at a building full of people that were all making a lot of noise. It was just, it was definitely on the bucket list to do Progress. And I found out things since then. Like, I don't know how true it is, but I've been told by a lot of people I'm the youngest person to have wrestled for Progress.
Wow, what a stat.
Yeah, I don't know how true it is, but that's what I've been told off a fair few people. So if that is true, then that's sick. That's definitely something to run with. But yeah, those are probably, in terms of what I've done, my 3 favourite matches.
Brilliant. No, that's great. I mean, one thing that I have noticed about yourself, just from when I've sort of been watching you the last sort of few years, is you do definitely leave a lasting impression on people in terms of obviously at these different promotions there. Actually, you just mentioned that that incident there with everyone chanting about obviously please come back and things. I can certainly say it's, you know, people I've spoken with, obviously been at shows like the Catch Pro one, for example. You've always definitely left a lasting impression. So no, just
thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, just got to keep it up and keep going, have you there? And
man, we'll try to. We try to. We've got nothing to work towards at the minute, but we've just got to stay headstrong, eh?
Yeah, no, definitely. And is there anyone out there at this time, well, I'm guessing there will be, who you'd love to face in the future?
Oh, are you talking, like, how are you talking? Are you talking like the independents, or are you talking...
Let's say someone in the UK, someone outside of the UK who you'd like to face.
Right, okay, so obviously I'm going to drop Ridgeway's name in there because it was meant to happen, and I've never gotten to wrestle Chris, so that would have been a lot of fun. But in terms of who's in the UK at the minute, I'm going to drop Dan Maloney's name, and I'm going to drop A-Kid's name, because I think A-Kid's one of the best like wrestlers going at the minute. Like, the matches that he's been having on NXT UK are insane. I've witnessed him have some great matches elsewhere, and I think he's boss. And I think Dan Maloney he's going to be like one of the bigger guys when shows get up and running again, in terms of like the locker room leader sort of stuff. And obviously he's in ridiculous shape. Like, he's been putting in a graft in lockdown. So yeah, I'd love to wrestle either of those two. And in terms of outside of the UK, it'd probably be Will Ospreay, just because Ospreay's been one of like the inspirations from starting training all the way up until now. Like, I still think he's incredible. Some of the stuff that he manages to do at his weight now, it's just insane. I've got a lot of respect for him. And yeah, I just think that would be, in terms of like, I don't even know if I can say that anymore, because he's signed to New Japan, isn't he? So yeah. I would have said on the Indies. But yeah, that's definitely one of the dream matches for me.
Brilliant. No, yeah, some fantastic opponents there indeed. And I'm sure one day they will happen, Tom. I'm sure one
day. Fingers crossed. We can all hope, eh?
We certainly can. Well, next here on the lockdown sessions, I've got a little game for you. So it's a little get to know you type of game. So two options. It's the pick one game. So I'll give you two options. You pick one, which is your favourite or whatnot, and we'll go from there. So for everyone watching, they can learn a little bit more about yourself. So a nice, easy one to start with. So red or brown sauce?
Oh, eyes. Oh, that's really hard, because it depends on what you're talking with. I'm probably going to say red sauce. I'm going to say ketchup, yeah. Okay. Red sauce.
Going with the red there. Netflix or Amazon Prime?
Netflix.
The Rock or Stone Cold?
Oh, no, this one is going to require some thinking. I'm probably gonna. Oh, I don't know, because I feel like no matter what, my answer's gonna upset some people. I think I'm just. I think I'm just gonna have to say The Rock.
The Rock, okay.
Yeah, just because. Oh, I'm being biased as well there because he is one of my favourite actors as well.
That's fair. That's a fair reason to choose him.
Yeah.
We'll take that. We'll take that one. A city break or a beach holiday?
Beach holiday, probably.
Nice beach. Oh, lovely. Manchester or Liverpool?
Manchester, 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. Yeah, man. That's one thing that everyone knows. Everyone, the wasp on the side of my leg. Everyone calls it a wasp. It was meant to be the Mancunian bee in designing. But yeah, things went a bit pear-shaped and it ended up being a wasp. But that was the original idea behind it. That's why I need to be careful when I come to TNT because I'm like a bigger good guy in TNT. That's why I always grit my teeth when I'm getting announced to the ring and they say fighting out of Manchester. Yeah. I've got a funny story about that. I wrestled Sandy Beach like a couple of years ago. No, what yeah, it might have been actually. It was on a pre-show of Cold Day in Hell. It was me, Sandy Beach, and Ricky Knight Jr. And Sandy got announced out of Manchester. Ricky got announced out of Norwich, I think it was. And then they announced me as well. But I got booed more than anyone did in the match. And Callum was the only baddie. And I was like, well, I'm from the nice part of Manchester. He hates you all. And I managed to switch it last second. But it was still a very big struggle to get the crowd to like me in that match.
Yeah, no,
I feel like we've gotten past it now, though. I feel like the fans at TNT and myself, we get on rather well. So I feel like I've managed to bury the hatch with the whole Manchester thing in Liverpool.
Yeah, no, definitely. You've been on a few times, haven't you, now there to do that. But this wasp, can we have a look at this wasp that you've got right now? Is it
the wasp? So it is the. How do I show this? How would you like me to show it?
If you've got a picture on your phone or something, happy to.
I can find a picture of the wasp on my gear, of course. The thing is, everyone uses it as a rib against me. Like people have been calling me Will Wasprey for like the last year and a half. So like Jay Apps has recently released a T-shirt, and he said himself, "I'm going to put the Manchester B on it," and he has put a wasp on it.
Really?
And yeah, I don't know if he's just doing it to crack a joke or what, but he's certainly done it.
So what? With me. So what happened? So did you ask for the B and they just drew it wrong or something? Is that basically what
happened? So I did. Oh, here we go. Right, I've got one. Right. We've got Mother Thelwell supplying the picture. So there's the wasp.
Right. Okay. So it's I can see.
Yeah, I don't know how well you can see that, but that was the wasp that got designed, and I specifically said in the messages, I'd like it to be the Manchester Bee, as I'm from Manchester, and I would like to show that to people. And she then, I'm not going to drop the name of the person that did it because that's a little bit uncalled for. But she then released a picture of it on social media and just put the golden wasp. And someone, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh dear, what's this started now? And yeah, it's kind of just stuck from there. I sent that exact same logo to a different gear designer then to get my second set of gear, my red set, and they did the exact same thing. I said, don't make a wasp, just make it really fat. And they didn't. So yeah, but now the bee's gone off my gear. We've got a bit of a new look going at the moment. That's so yeah, all a bit of a shambles.
Yeah, but no, at least all sorted now. But no, great story there for everyone.
Yeah, everyone knows about Will Wasprey now. It happened.
They do indeed. Moving on the game. What have we got? Cats or dogs?
Dogs, 10 times out of 10, man.
Yeah, I was a dog man myself there. Summer or winter? I'm
gonna say summer, but that's that's a very close one for multiple different reasons. This is going to sound mad. I'm going to go off on another bit of a rant now, but this is going to sound mad. But I hate sleeping in the summer.
Yeah,
I can't do it. Because like the way I look at it is, it's a lot easier to warm up than it is to cool down. So yeah, I'm going to say the winter, but I've just little things about the summer do annoy me. No, sorry, I'm going to say summer, but things about the summer do annoy me as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. Those really hot nights, you got to get the fan out, and even that doesn't cool you down.
Yeah, man, I'm one of them weirdos that has to sleep under my cover. Like, if I don't sleep under my cover, then I don't feel right. But if it's ridiculously hot, then it just ruins the whole experience, and then I'm fuming by the end of it. you know what I mean? It's probably going to make me sound like an absolute weirdo, but yeah.
Well, it's fair. It's a fair point there, my friend. Coke or Pepsi? Which one do you prefer out of those two?
Pepsi, mate. Pepsi. Yeah. Well, I'd take an ice cold ice cold glass of Pepsi Max over any of them, because that's like my go-to drink. Like, so everyone has like their, like, I don't know if you call it a guilty pleasure, like crisp chocolate sweets or fizzy drinks. Mine would be fizzy drinks 10 times out of 10.
Right.
But I feel like if it came down to it, I could live without the rest of them. But
nice. Okay.
Yeah, fizzy drinks are the one.
Fantastic. No, that's brilliant. Samsung or Apple?
Apple.
Yeah. 3 choices on this one. Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter?
I'm gonna go with Instagram because, well, for starters, they have the most followers on it. I have to use it the least. I don't really like Twitter. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No.
Facebook, I just friends and family on that. I'm gonna go, in terms of being a wrestler, probably Instagram, because it's where I'm able to showcase myself the most.
No, that's fantastic. And do you prefer being face or heel? I'm guessing depending where you are.
Yeah, massively. Don't get me wrong, it's a lot of fun being a heel when you're in. For me, when I'm in somewhere like Liverpool, because I'll just milk the Manchester thing and it'll always work. But I feel like, thinking smartly, it'd probably be face, because that's where I am in the majority of places, and just because of the way I look, and I feel like I'm rather good at selling, so I'm good at making people feel sorry for me. Like, you'll never see me as like a very hard man, good guy. Like, I'm more the sort of guy that'd be getting beaten up and constantly be fighting back, so like trying to get the crowd's sympathy sort of thing. But I do have a lot of fun being a face, because who doesn't enjoy having people, chant the name and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd be a fool not to enjoy that.
Yeah, definitely. The Claymore or RKO, which move do you prefer out of those two?
Oh, probably I'm gonna say the RKO just because of the memories, but I think Drew McIntyre's incredible.
Yeah,
I'd probably say, like, I'd probably prefer Drew at the minute, just because I think if you think of a wrestler, then Drew comes to mind. Like, if you'd never seen one before and if you had to picture one in your mind, Drew's massive, he's insanely jacked, and he's incredible. I just thought I'd drop that in there.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. No, but no, definitely think the same as well. He's incredible, isn't he? What have we got next? Do you prefer to save or spend?
Well, I'm see, I don't know if you heard that, but my mother's over there saying spend. She clearly doesn't know me very well, because the answer is save. No, I'll tell a lie. I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm becoming more smart with my money. So stop laughing. You're ruining the interview. Stop laughing. Right. Yeah, I'm just going to say, you know what? She's ruined it. Yeah, spend.
Fair enough.
Spend.
Mac or Windows? Which do you prefer out of those two?
I'm probably going to say. I'll probably say. You see, I don't have a laptop, or I don't have a computer or anything like that. I've probably used Windows more in the past, so I'm going to say Windows. Yeah,
We'll go with Windows. PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation every single day of the week.
Single day of the week. There we go. John Cena or Randy Orton?
John Cena. Oh man, I loved John Cena growing up. John Cena was the man. Anyone, again, another rank coming. John Cena is all the people that shout like he sucks or whatever, but he's genuinely one of the smartest men in the world. Like, he doesn't have to go out there every day and kill himself with insane matches. He goes out there, he the biggest one in the ring, does his 4 or 5 moves that everyone pays to see, does his pose and sends everyone happy, and gets the biggest paycheck of the night out of everyone else there for doing these 5 moves and having a very mediocre match. And I think he's incredible for doing it. Yeah. So yeah, I not just looking at it as a fan. Like, obviously, I was a massive fan of him before I started training and everything. But now looking at him as a wrestler, you can't help but respect what he's done and how well he's managed to do it. You know what I mean? It's a similar thing with Lesnar. The way that he's massive. He does 3 Germans in his finisher and gets the biggest paycheck of the night. So he's very smart. You can't not respect them in that sort of sense.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. This next one's caused a bit of controversy on the last few that I've done of these. Do you prefer New Year's Eve or Christmas Day?
Well, because I've not had a chance to experience New Year's Eve as an adult yet, I'm just going to say Christmas Day. Because to me, New Year's Eve is just another day out with the family. But now that I'm 18, I imagine this New Year's Eve will be a bit different.
Yeah.
So, sorry, bear with me. It's the iPad's on 2%, so I'm just going to plug it in now so it doesn't die.
Yeah, no worries at all.
I'll finish saying when I'm actually on camera because I don't want to do.
Yeah, maybe it's best if I ask you this question this time next year. See if that's changed.
Oh yeah, I'm not. The chances are the answer would probably be different if you asked me that same question in a year's time. But at the minute, I'm going to say Christmas Day.
No, that's fantastic. Just a couple left. We've got amusement parks or water parks.
I'm going to go with water parks.
Nice. And then the last one that I've got is Trish or Lita.
Oh. Trish. Probably. I enjoyed a lot of stuff that Lita did, like whether it was her. First of all, if you're going off theme songs, Lita's is probably the best because Lita's theme song slaps. But in terms of who I enjoyed watching wrestle more, it'd probably be Trish.
Fantastic. No, that's great. But yeah, that is all the pick one questions there to get to know you there, Tom. So thank you for participating in that. But moving forward, if anyone wants to find you on socials, if anyone wants to find any merchandise that you have out there, where can we find you, Tom?
So on social media, on Instagram, I'm at Tom_Thelwell, and I believe it's the same on Twitter. And in terms of merchandise, hopefully I'll be dropping some more t-shirts soon. I'm not too sure what is on my big cartel at the minute, but it is thelwellsmerch.bigcartel.com. If anyone wants to go and pop on over there and have a look at what I'm selling at the minute, because I don't know myself, so I might actually have to do that. But yeah, if anyone wants to do that, those are the things that you need to type into your magical web browsers.
Fantastic. No, brilliant. Tom, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on this evening. And we obviously certainly can't wait to see you back in that ring, hopefully very soon in the next few months once everything's died down, hopefully, and back to normal. But appreciate your time this evening.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me on. It's been a great experience. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no worries. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, mate.